Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome inside the athletic fields here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. All Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV are proudly presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Rail Trail Flatbread Company, a casual American dining experience specializing in an all-scratch-made kitchen featuring wood-fired flatbreads, an inviting atmosphere for the whole family to enjoy. And we're also happy to be coming to you live here on this Tuesday afternoon from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Rentschler Biopharma, our official broadcast booth sponsor. Rentschler Biopharma is a global contract development and manufacturing organization specializing in biopharmaceuticals and advanced therapies. They take pride in contributing to nearly 25% of FDA-approved biopharmaceuticals in 2023. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. And we're happy to welcome you in this afternoon to coverage of Milford Varsity Girls Soccer. I am Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coette, here with you on the call. And Milford welcomes in one of their Kelly Rex Division rivals here this afternoon in the Attleboro Bombardiers. Both of these teams with identical starts to the season. Both teams tied for second place in the Kelly Rex standings, each team at 2-1-0. So a good battle about to take place here on the Milford turf this afternoon. Our first opportunity to get a look at this girls' soccer team on the season. Depth being tested in the early going for this girls' varsity roster. As action gets underway, we'll share some of the details on that with you as this broadcast goes along. But in the meantime, just after the opening kick, the ball takes a roll out of play over on the far side of the field and then right back out of play. A big test for Milford in this game will be how they are able to start against this Attleboro squad. The last time these two teams played here on the Milford turf in the later stages of last season, Attleboro came out swinging. They were able to notch 3 goals within the first 21 minutes of the first half to really put the game out of reach early, really demoralizing Milford in that first half. Milford was able to grab a goal in the second half, but ultimately lost that game 4-1. The Milford offense has been fun to watch in the early days of this season, in particular in their most recent game last Friday. Unfortunately, could not cover that game for you live, but we were here for the second half as we were getting set up for football coverage. And Milford was able to score 4 times to defeat the Stoughton Black Knights by a final score of 4-2. We'll dig into a little bit more of how that game unfolded, a pretty dramatic second half in particular in that game. And so Milford hoping to build off of that momentum here this afternoon under some overcast, sort of gray sky overhead. We're not expecting any rain. Another warm day today. Temperatures up in the 80s, very little breeze, so still feeling like summer. We'll get the official start of fall over the weekend, but in the meantime, the weather has not yet started to turn. We've had very, very warm and for the most part sunny days to get this fall season started. Attleboro lined up for a free kick here. 38 minutes on the first half clock. As they're able to drive this ball in deep, it'll take a couple of bounces into the hands of Chloe Murdoch, back for her 3rd season as the goalkeeper on this varsity squad. Delivers this kick out. Kaylee Turtelot able to push it along, but that ball will not stay in play. Toss in now on the near side from Kennedy Samuel for the Bombardiers. Turtelot again contesting. Kernan, who has been moved back onto the defensive side of the field for the time being due to the injuries that Milford's been dealing with. In particular, 2 defensive starters out of the mix. As this ball will make its way out of play. Looks to be a goal kick coming up here. Murdoch will give way to Caitlin Kernan. On the other side, it's Kiara O'Driscoll, excuse me, the sophomore, starting in net for Attleboro. Securing that starting job as an underclassman, despite the fact that there is a junior and a senior on this Attleboro roster listed at the goalkeeper position, but O'Driscoll getting the start. Milford contesting along the near sideline. That was Olivia Baglione, who had a goal in that win last Friday against Stoughton. Milford now trying to get the clear, but this one will be driven in softly and easily handled right at the near post by Murdoch. Still in the opening 5 minutes of play. Happy to have everyone joining us for the coverage here today, whether you may be tuned in after the fact or you're with us live. We're once again live locally on our Milford TV educational channel, on our Verizon High Definition channel, and streaming worldwide on our YouTube channel. Happy to have all of our Milford viewers, as well as any Attleboro fans who may be in the audience for tonight's game. Attleboro collecting this ball back in along the far sideline and then driven back onto the Milford attacking side briefly. Now Kernan settles it right in the center circle, and it's intercepted by Attleboro's Haley Desper. Attleboro on the move. A good pass here, stays on sides to Isla Thompson, and has to be sent out of play. Kernan able to get back defensively. But we'll get our first corner kick of the match. Sent in a hurry, off the post and in. And so another early strike here for the Bombardiers. That play developed quickly. And the shot came in from distance by the captain, Tatum Leahy. And she got the friendly bounce off the post and in. Off the corner kick, Attleboro is able to strike first. Really a well-executed play there. Attleboro now pushing this ball back across the center line. Milford trying to dump it back in. So it was Tatum O'Brien who took the corner, sent a short pass over towards Tatum Leahy, who again was able to send that ball in from long distance. Got the ricochet off the far post and in, out of the reach of Murdoch. Attleboro able to strike first, just like they did the last time they came to town. And the challenge here for Milford is to keep things competitive. And one thing that they were able to do very well in their win against Stoughton last Friday was answer back. Every time Stoughton looked like they were ready to seize the momentum, Milford was able to answer back. Milford had a 1-0 lead with a first half goal. Stoughton was able to tie it at 1 with about 15 minutes to go, and then Milford was able to quickly strike for 2 more goals, eventually winning the game 4-2 as this ball comes in from distance, and Murdoch is able to get the fingertips on it to deflect it wide of the goal and out of play. And so another big opportunity, thanks to the speed of the Bombardiers. That looks like Tatum O'Brien, who was able to carry that ball in, send a good shot, and it took a nice play from Chloe Murdoch to keep that ball out of the Milford goal.
Urgency in the middle.
So the Hawks in need of a momentum shift here as Attleboro looks to be settling in nicely here with still 31 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the first half. Attleboro's last game was also on last Friday, September 13th, a 1-0 defeat against Mansfield. Another goal kick here on the Milford side, but right now not a lot of traffic in front of O'Driscoll on the other side of the field. And real quickly, we'll run through the list of inactives for the game here today. That includes Ava Baglione, Talia Seri, Lexi Antonio, and Alexa Landry, who are all sidelined with various injuries. Some of those the coaching staff fearing will be longer-term recoveries. And so in particular on the defensive side of the ball, Milford with some personnel needing to step up and fill those big vacancies. Able to clear this ball up the near sideline. Will it stay in play for Nashawati? She's able to pick it up and sends a good ball up ahead to Paige Calden, but good closing speed for the Attleboro defender. That was Kennedy Samuel who was able to run down that pass towards Calden. Really nice effort there from Samuel as she was able to come up from behind. Calden may have thought that she was going to have a quick uncontested look on net, but Samuel denies. And now Attleboro quick to turn upfield. This ball up ahead of the Attleboro attack. Murdoch a little bit of a bobble, but she's able to keep it under control. 29:38 on the first half clock, and an early 1-0 lead for the Attleboro Bombardiers on a goal from one of the Attleboro captains, Tatum Leahy. Across the middle again. This ball picked up by Isla Thompson. Milford gets back defensively. Isabella Lacerbo with a nice play. Possession staying with the Bombardiers. Feeling warm and humid here at the Milford turf this afternoon. And we saw how the warm conditions along with a max effort game ended up being the undoing of the football team on Friday night, as they succumbed to a late game comeback bid from the Leominster Blue Devils. So this girls soccer team today on another very hot and humid day, trying to stay hydrated and stay as ready as they can to play this game through to the final whistle. Substitutions coming in meanwhile on the Attleboro side. Attleboro under the direction of head coach Steve Santos. This is the 13th season at the helm of the Attleboro program for Coach Santos. We've talked about Coach Santos in past seasons covering this Attleboro-Milford matchup. He does a great job with this team. Had a chance to get to know Coach Santos a bit in my years covering Attleboro sports for AACS TV down in Attleboro. It's once again a great help sending information ahead of this match today. And as always, we're very appreciative of the opposing coaches donating their time to send us some info to help us prepare for our broadcasts. Milford, meanwhile, of course, under the direction once again of head coach Lou Colabello, assistant coach Casey Young. Great coaching staffs on both sides for this matchup today. Taking Getting down to 27 minutes to play in the first half. The lone goal so far belongs to the Bombardiers. Maya Santos trying to control over the middle, but Attleboro is able to take it back. And Milford yet to really exert themselves on offense. This ball up ahead to Nashawati, tries to carve a pass up ahead to Calden, couldn't quite settle it down, and Attleboro will play it back to the keeper, who now blasts this ball back out towards center. Moving this ball now down into the far corner. Good footwork. The centering pass is sent out courtesy of Lucerbo. And now Nashawati trying to work through the midfield. Instead, this ball will get sent forward. Calden trying to carve between a pair of defenders. Applying some pressure there and forcing the defense to send that ball out of play. A lot with the toss in. This takes a hop off of an Attleboro defender towards their own goal, but O'Driscoll was ready. And another quick trip upfield without a shot on goal for this Milford offense as we march down to 25 minutes to play in the half. Middle now for Milford as they push it to the far side and out of play. All the way down to the corner, and again the Scarlet Hawks cannot run it down. Baglione there in the neighborhood, but well behind. Nashawati trying to put some pressure on over along the near sideline. Now the ball gathered in and sent deep. Goal kick coming up for the Bombardiers as Chloe Pierce will step out onto the field, replacing appears to be Olivia Baglione. Leaks its way up the near sideline and now picked up by Kernan and then sent ahead by Lucerbo. This ball sent deep. Milford will win the foot race as Kernan gets there, and she will knock this one out of play. Colabello transitioning Kernan to the defensive side, while Milford looks to weather the injuries that have hit them right out of the gate this season. Again, Attleboro is able to control over the middle. And this ball back to Murdoch. She'll send it ahead. Nashawati is able to get there, tries to fit a pass through a tight window towards Kaylee Turtelot. Cannot get it there. And now this ball drifts back to the defense, and again, Milford will try to angle this one forward. An opportunity here for Calden, as she's able to get this one past the keeper. Ends up losing her footing out of play. And it looks like Milford's going to get the penalty shot. And so a great opportunity here for Milford to even the score. 21.5 minutes to go in the first half as Kyla Nashawati lines up for the penalty shot. And this one past the keeper. O'Driscoll guessed right, but Nashawati able to get it past as she went into the dive, and Milford is able to even the score. So credit Paige Calden there as she was able to force O'Driscoll out to the edge of the box. Ended up making contact with Calden. Milford converts the penalty shot with 21:07 to go in the half. Attleboro losing their footing. Milford able to get this ball back out across the midfield. Calden now pushes it forward for Nashawati. Defender able to get there first. Ball goes out of play. They're going to say possession goes to the Attleboro Bombardiers. So for Kyla Nashawati, that is her third goal now of the season. Now Milford trying to center this ball up. It ends up coming in to the side of the cage, and it's picked up by O'Driscoll. Past the midway point in this first half. And so again, a good job by this defense to not give in to the early pressure for Attleboro, allowing the single goal, but hanging in there from there. And now Milford able to tie things up courtesy of the Nashawati penalty kick. Turtelot with the toss in. She's able to find Nashawati. Has a trio of defenders all around her, still able to get a decent looking shot away. It glanced off the near post and out of play. Nashawati able to make something out of nothing there. Pushed along the near sideline, out of play. Milford will get the toss back in. That ball kept in and now out off of Turtelot's foot. Coach Colabello wanting to see the energy level stay up for this team after evening the score. Creative pass for Attleboro, ends up getting the ball to Tatum O'Brien, who pushes up the middle. Milford looks to protect this ball back to Chloe Murdoch. Both of these teams ended up finishing last season sub 500. Attleboro finished the season overall at 4-11-3. Milford, meanwhile, has already tied their wins total from all of last season. They finished last year 2-12-4. They come into the matchup here today at 2-1. As Kernan's able to take this ball away. This pass up towards Santos. Instead, it's taken over by Tatum Leahy. And into the box, but too far out in front. Murdoch is able to scoop. Coming down to 16.5 minutes to play in the first half. Competitive game here early. Calden trying to spring loose with that ball, but couldn't secure it. And now a collision between Kernan and it looks like Tatum O'Brien. Whistle going against Milford, so a free kick coming up here right around the midfield line. Ball played offsides by the Bombardiers. Nashawati refusing to let Attleboro clear this ball. Ends up finding Olivia Baglione along the far sideline, and now Attleboro takes control. And too much contact coming in from behind for Turtle. I tried to pull those hands down, but draws the whistle. And a good pass up ahead, but an even better play defensively for Caitlin Kernan. Keeps the ball in play. And Milford now in a little bit of a trouble trying to clear this ball out. And it will instead go out of play along the near sideline. So much speed for Caitlin Kernan. Something we've become accustomed to in all three sports seasons by now, watching her operate here on the soccer field in the fall, on the basketball court in the winter, and out on the softball field in the spring. Now a junior. Turtelot couldn't find that ball. It ends up out of play. Milford will get the toss in. Kaylee Turtelot, another player that's brought a lot of versatility, a lot of tenacity to the sports that she has played throughout her varsity career so far. We saw her mostly with the JV girls basketball team last season, along with Kyla Nashawati. And that team was in the mix for a win each and every game. And those two players, along with Chloe Murdoch and others who played on that JV team, were a big reason why. Those will be fun players to watch, as we expect that we'll see them on the varsity roster this winter. But of course, a lot of contributions to come on the soccer field as well. It's really become a fun time to watch all of these female teams for Milford. A lot of talent that carries from season to season. We've seen a lot of the same nucleus of female athletes in all three sports seasons, and really transforming a lot of these programs to have some success. Meanwhile, Chloe Murdoch out to the edge of the box to make a play there, came down hard, and she is slow to get to her feet. And this will bring the Milford training staff out onto the field. An injury timeout here with 13 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the first half. It's tied at 1 between Milford and Attleboro. We will take the timeout as well. We'll have more coverage coming up in just a moment here on Milford TV, presented by Rail Trail. Back with you once again, live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth, about to resume out of the injury timeout. Chloe Murdoch able to get to the sideline under her own power. Looking at her on the sideline right now, looks like she may make a quick return to this game, but is out for the moment, and so it is Kaylee Turtelot who will take over as the backup keeper, gets an immediate opportunity and is able to make the stop. Milford does not have an official backup keeper listed on the roster, but not a surprise to see someone like Turtelot step up and be able to fill that void. She'll perhaps get another opportunity here. Flips this ball up. Milford trying to get the clear. You can see right now Attleboro trying to ratchet things up on offense with the starting keeper on the sideline for the Scarlet Hawks. But Chloe right now already perched at the midfield line, ready to check back in at the next opportunity. A little over 12 minutes remain in the first half, tied up at 1. And a good kick from Turtelot. Right to Paige Calden. She couldn't settle it down. And now Kernan will backtrack. Sends a pass over towards Isabella Lacerbo. She wasn't quite expecting it. And now the ball gets knocked out of play, but it will be a Milford toss-in. And meanwhile, with the ball out of play, Chloe Murdoch will step back onto the field. And a nice job for Kaylee Turtelot. She'll get a breather on the sideline for the time being. As right now, Murdoch gets the gloves back on with a bit of an assist from Caitlin Kernan, and now ready to resume. Kernan with a blast out of play.
Hey, come on, win it back, let's go. Come on, guys.
A bit of a miscue here on defense, but Milford able to tighten the ranks to prevent a look on net for Tatum O'Brien. She'll get another chance here. A bit of a deflection on the way in, and Murdoch is able to make the stop. Not sure if that went off of a Milford body or an Attleboro body on the way in, but took a little something off of it. Made it an easier stop for Murdoch. And now a bit of a miscue on the Attleboro defense, but guided back towards Kiara O'Driscoll. And now a deflection over towards the near sideline and out of play for a toss-in for the Bombardiers. This will take us under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Turtelot back out onto the field. And now good acceleration here for Attleboro. The shot on goal, and the save is made by Chloe Murdoch. The shot taken by Isla Thompson, who was able to sneak ahead of the Milford defense on sides, but a good play for Murdoch, who looks to still be locked in despite that quick trip to the sideline after taking some hard contact. And meanwhile, a hard ricochet goes out of play right off of one of the officials, who gives a thumbs up, has a smile on his face. He looks to be okay. Some hard contact all around here in this first half. Milford with a toss in deep on the attacking side as we dip under 9 minutes to play in the half. And a quick pause here as Caitlin Landry checks back into the game. She'll replace Isabella Lacerbo. This ball out of play, just out of the reach of the Attleboro coaching staff. Mike Thornton is the assistant varsity coach for this Attleboro girls team.
There we go, White.
hard deflection off of an Attleboro player on that toss in from Kernan. Ultimately a free kick here for the Bombardiers to be taken by Zendajoni, one of the captains on this team and a dangerous player out there. And a bit of a numbers advantage here for Attleboro, and perhaps rushing that shot a bit as it was a 3-on-2 initially. Madison Dennehy, a sophomore, who maybe could have made the extra pass or taken an extra beat before releasing that shot, but Milford happy to see that ball go wide to the near side of the goal. Aggressive play for O'Driscoll, meanwhile, out from the box to play this ball, and it ends up out of play along the far sideline. This will take us down towards 7 minutes to play in the half. Guided out of play by Attleboro. Bombardiers quickly get the clear after the toss in. Ball back to Kernan. And now dumped back in, and gets called for the offsides, just a hair early there as Milford looked like they would have an opportunity. Nashawati and Calden were there. Nashawati, I think, had the step on the defense. Kick now to be taken by Caitlin Kernan. Keeps it low. Trying to guide that ball towards Maya Santos. Taken over. Tatum O'Brien with a little give and go. She's going to have a tough angle here. See if she can center it up. This ball drifts all the way across the goal mouth, and fortunately does not lead to a shot on net. Milford blasting that ball out of play. Good heads-up play by Juliana Senna. Juliana, the lone freshman on this varsity roster, and some very optimistic words from Coach Colabello about the prospects for Senna. Very gifted defender. Just starting out her varsity career. This has been a young nucleus for a long time on this girls soccer team at the varsity level. Of course, they only lost one senior from last year's team. That was Erin Mickelson. Other than that, the majority of the team returning for this season. Still a lot of players that will be around beyond this season. It's a junior-heavy roster. Marching down towards the final 4 minutes of this first half. Remain tied at 1. And a good one-on-one battle here is broken up by Chloe Murdoch. Comes out of the box to clear this ball downfield before it takes a roll out of play right in front of the Attleboro bench. Footwork along the near sideline by Zendajoni. And now a swing and a miss on the clear for Attleboro. Nashawati, who It just started to slink back, then came back on the scene. And now she'll have an opportunity to toss this ball back in as Coach Colabello gets some fresh legs out on the field with just over 3 minutes now until we reach intermission. Again, Nashawati will track down the ball as it goes out of play along the far sideline. And now sends a long toss towards Esther Light, just out of her reach. Kennedy Samuel now able to get the clear for Attleboro, up ahead towards Madison Dennehy. And then eventually on to Tatum O'Brien in a one-on-one battle with Isabella Lacerbo. And now able to blow past Caitlin Kernan, shot on goal. And Murdoch able to make the save. She couldn't hang on. That ball popped off the gloves and fortunately went over the bar and out of play. But we'll get another corner kick here for Attleboro, their second of the half. Their first corner kick resulted in their goal. It's again Tatum O'Brien who lines up for the kick. This time sends it in towards net, and it was deflected with the hands by Chloe Murdoch. And it will be guided out of play across the other end of the field by Olivia Baglione. As the game clock is now frozen as we go under 2 minutes to play. This time Milford is able to get the clear. Nashawati can't catch up, and Attleboro drops it right back in to their attacking side. And then Samuel goes careening off into the Milford bench. Toss in now for Lacerbo. Out of play again, just shy of the Attleboro bench. Toss in for Milford. Nashawati waits for it to come down. Able to clear a defender, centers it up, and out of the reach of Calden. Tricky ricochet off of an Attleboro defender ends up going out of play, and we'll see our first corner kick chance for Milford of the half. Likely under a minute remaining in the half. Chloe Pierce with the corner kick. Plenty of Milford players crashing the net, but that ball took a tough bounce out of play. It was put in a good spot by Pierce. And again, really no wind to contend with at all out there. And that'll end up being the final play of the half, as it turns out. So Milford just misses an opportunity to take the lead, but a good effort over the course of this first half. Milford able to shake off that early goal scored on the Attleboro side by Tatum Leahy. And ultimately they get the equalizer on the penalty shot for Kyla Nashawati. And so as we head into the break, it is Milford 1 and Attleboro 1. So we will pause here right now, about 10 minutes on the clock for the intermission. So if you're joining us on the live coverage, stay with us. We'll be back with second half action shortly here, coming to you live from the Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth as we bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Back with you once again at the turf field here in Milford. Coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. And we come to you live from the Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth as we settle in for second half action in this varsity girls soccer matchup between Milford and Attleboro. Milford now looking to attack from left to right across your screens in the second half action. I am Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coet on the call with you. Patrick Garapi manning our cameras up on top of the press box. As we bring you our first girls soccer action of the season, but we've got plenty more opportunities to see this team in action as this fall season goes along. And a quick opportunity presenting itself in tight for the Bombardiers is too far over to the near side of the post. Another opportunity for Tatum O'Brien. If you're just joining the coverage, both teams able to get on the scoreboard in the first half. It was Attleboro who struck first off a corner kick opportunity. Tatum Leahy sending a long distance shot in that glanced off the far post and in for the first goal of the afternoon. Milford able to tie things up about midway through the first half with a Kyla Nashawati penalty shot. And so all even at one now as we enter into second half action.
Open up wide for her. Next level.
We're able to take over on the Milford attacking side, and now looking to break this ball out up the near sideline, now cutting back in. The ball on the foot of Zinda Joni is pushed ahead to O'Brien. Milford able to close in defensively and knock this ball out of play, but it will be an early corner kick chance for the visitors. Tatum O'Brien, this time with a short pass to Ryan Mooney. O'Brien will get it back, now lost her footing, and Milford with an opportunity now to get the clear. Instead, Mooney able to stop that ball's progress and dump it back in. And now across the way, this ball taken over eventually by Kay Pellegrini. And now Olivia Baglione. Step too late to try to get that ball cleared out. Instead, a shot will come in here from distance. Not quite sure if Murdoch got a hand on that ball or not. It was just wide to the near side of the net off the shot by Zinda Joni. We'll get a goal kick here for Milford, so Attleboro applying some pressure in this sequence. A short kick, and O'Brien is able to quickly take over. Milford struggling to get this ball out of their defensive end. O'Brien is quickly taking this game over here to start the second half. And now potentially a free look on net for Haley Desper. And again, Murdoch is able to make the stop. Could not secure the ball as it squirted out along the goal line. And so we will get another corner kick. Second corner kick in the first 3 minutes of the second half action. O'Brien will send this ball right into the center of the box where it's looped over the net and out of play. I believe that was Zinda Joni with the shot attempt. And so Milford having to stand up to a barrage from the Bombardiers here in this early sequence of the second half. Attleboro really set the pace of this game early on in the first half. They commanded possession. The turning point really was that penalty shot opportunity. Successful for Nashawati, and it gave Milford some confidence on the offensive side through the remainder of the first half. But right now, Attleboro putting some serious pressure on. Quick toss in, and right now Attleboro just continuing to feed Tatum O'Brien. Feeling like the hot hand for them right now. She will get a shot away. A deflection for Murdoch, could not hold on. And Milford able to clear the ball out along the far sideline. The most dangerous opportunity yet, as Tatum was able to sidestep a couple of defenders, got a great shot away. Murdoch was able to get the hands on it to guide the ball away. And this ball now once again in Murdoch's hands. Ashawati waiting for that ball to come down. It takes a big bounce and knocked back in by the Bombardier defense. Now looped ahead towards Olivia Baglione. She can't settle. Chloe Pierce. And now Baglione up ahead, finding Nashawati. Back to Baglione, but too far out in front. And Attleboro will toss back in. All momentum with the Bombardiers over this first 5 minutes of the second half. And again, O'Brien in a one-on-one battle, able to get Lacerbo to lose her footing. And now Isla Thompson up ahead. The defense able to hold strong. Now Joni from distance. And the stop is made by Pierce. Chloe Pierce continuing to be tested in this opening stretch of the second half. And now contact with the whistle going against Attleboro. And Milford start to get a presence in front of the sophomore Kiara O'Driscoll on the Attleboro side. Still heavy cloud cover overhead with warm temperatures. And off the free kick, this ball takes a harmless bounce right into the hands of O'Driscoll. Milford able to intercept that kick from O'Driscoll, and now the ball ends up out along the far side. We'll try again to get this ball back in play. Looped again, back out by the Bombardiers. This time it's Pellegrini with the toss. Looking for Baglione in the corner. The ball goes out. It will be a goal kick. So again, nothing materializes on offense for the Scarlet Hawks. Playing undermanned with a series of injuries here out of the gates. Again, if you're just joining us, Milford playing without the services of Ava Baglione, Talia Seri, Lexi Antonio, and Alexa Landry. To talk briefly with Alexa Landry during the first half as she was operating the scoreboard. She's hopeful it won't be more than a week or so until she's able to make her return, so that is good news. Certainly for this defense. This ball again out of play, and we will see the third corner kick now of this opening 10 minutes of the second half for Attleboro, this time coming on the far side. Looks like Zenda Joni will take the corner. Tatum O'Brien streaking out towards the corner. Instead, this ball comes in right to the center of the box, popped straight up in the air, and still up for grabs and a score. It looked like Tatum Leahy who was finally able to get it past Murdoch. Milford had a couple of chances to get the clear, but ultimately Leahy was able to put it in, so she scores her second goal of the game. And both have come courtesy of corner kick opportunities, and it just sort of felt like it was a matter of time in this opening sequence of the half. Milford has really been living dangerously. All of the opportunities have been on the Attleboro side, and finally they are able to cash in with the second goal from Leahy. And so Attleboro pulls back in front now 2-1, and so another opportunity for Milford to show their resolve. Dump down into the corner for Esther Light. She'll now toss it in as we are at 29:33 to go in the second half. Attleboro takes over possession, and again, Milford without a look on net so far in the half. Nashawati now trying to make something happen as she'll pop this ball across the width of the field, and it's sent out of play by Attleboro. Paige Calden was over in the general vicinity, and now Pellegrini will toss it in. And Attleboro now able to break this ball out. A 3-on-1 with Isla Thompson upfield for Attleboro, and Kernan really had to race to get back. Everything looking easy for Attleboro right now. Milford needing to do something here to change the tenor of this second half. Nashawati trying to free that ball. Meanwhile, Joni caught a little flat-footed, gave Milford an opportunity there, but it ends up back to the defensive line. Now a long leading pass. Attleboro is going to get there, and they're going to blast this shot. And that is behind the Milford goal. But a scary opportunity nonetheless, as whatever the discussion was at the half between Coach Santos and his team, it has certainly had an effect, as Attleboro has come out very focused, creating a lot of chances here. They've retaken the lead now at 2-1, and Milford has not been able to find an answer yet. Thompson with the header sends this ball harmlessly towards Chloe Murdoch. Murdoch was briefly shaken up in the first half, came out for a short sequence. Kaylee Turtelot took over in net as the emergency backup. Was able to make a couple of nice plays before Murdoch eventually returned to the field. Coach Colabello had such glowing words to say about his entire team after that 4-2 win against Stoughton on Friday. Talked to the media after the game, said if we can play like that each and every game, we're going to win our fair share of games. Said it was just about the best effort he has seen in his coaching tenure here in Milford. So again, Milford hoping to carry some of that momentum from Friday into the new week here, but having to play from behind against this tough Attleboro team. It's tied coming into the second half. Attleboro able to pull ahead on the second goal of the game by Tatum Leahy. 2-1 Attleboro lead with a little more than 25 minutes remaining in the second half. Ashawati getting the whistle. Leading to a free kick for Ryan Mooney. Slices past a couple of Milford players before it eventually is taken by Lacerbo. Back out of play. Substitutions in as Olivia Baglione and Caitlin Landry return to the field. Chloe Pierce and Kay Pellegrini will get the rest. Milford can't get the clear. Instead, Leahy will send a pass over toward Ryan Mooney, who blasts a shot from about 30 yards out. That is stopped by Murdoch. It's been a good game in net so far for Murdoch. Can't really blame her on the two goals that Attleboro has so far. Again, both of them on set pieces off the corner kick. This ball drifts out of the reach of Caitlin Kernan. A good job by Caitlin Landry backing up the play. But Milford unable to advance. We'll get the free kick here off of the whistle. Clock continues to roll as Kernan's kick is easily picked off by the Bombardiers. This is the second home game of the season for Milford. Opened up the season on the road against North Attleboro, came away with a 1-0 victory. And then on the road at Sharon, they did have a multi-goal lead on the road against the Eagles, but ultimately fell in that game 5-3, so a disappointing loss. And again, talking to Coach Colabello prior to the game, he said, truly, this should be a 3-0 start. That game at Sharon should have been a win, but again, credit to this program. They came back for their first home game last Friday against Stoughton, came through with a 4-2 win. So on the plus side of 500, hoping to stay there, but need to come back in this game with a little less than 22.5 minutes to go, down by a goal. Pass takes a hard ricochet off the feet of Kyla Nashawati and out of play. And now a misplay on defense, but good support by Lacerbo. Ball up for grabs. Looks like Brianna Ballou to settle it down for the Bombardiers. Emily Jansen's giving chase for Milford. Today starts a three-game week for us here in our Milford TV coverage. We'll be back out here for more soccer action on Thursday, this time for the boys as they take on the Canton Bulldogs. We were able to get confirmation from Athletic Director Peter Boucher that that will be a 6 p.m. start as Milford hosts the Canton Bulldogs, so you can expect the live coverage as that ball goes just over the Milford goal out from more than 30 yards away. boys soccer action live on Milford TV on Thursday night. And then, of course, we'll be back here on Friday as well for week 3 of the football season. The Milford football team looking to shake off what was really a gut-wrenching defeat in the closing seconds in a non-conference game against Leominster last Friday night, a game that Milford had a 2-score lead late in the fourth quarter, but just ran out of gas and ran into a very tough quarterback in Leominster's Osiris Lopez. He was able to orchestrate a dramatic comeback, a gutsy 2-point conversion with 49 seconds left to give Leominster a 1-point lead. And then Lopez was able to intercept a Jack Buckley pass to secure the victory. You can watch that game in its entirety over on YouTube. We've already had over 2,000 views on that game since Friday night. So Milford will look to turn the page for a week 3 battle against Wellesley High School coming up on Friday night, kickoff at 7 p.m. So plenty of sports action on tap for you all week long here on Milford TV. Less than 20 minutes remain in the second half. Meanwhile, it is a 2-1 lead for Attleboro on top of Milford. Kennedy Samuel takes this ball in. Nice sliding play by Kaylee Turtelot, but it will lead to a corner kick chance. The 4th corner kick of this second half. And it goes off the hands of Chloe Murdoch, and then she pays the price as Attleboro is able to put the second chance effort in, and that's going to give the Bombardiers a 3-1 lead. Murdoch had it sized up, but had a glance off the hands, and frustrating for the Milford keeper. It was Zenda Joni who was able to put in the easy effort after that ball glanced off of Murdoch's hands. And so that goal hurts as it now puts Attleboro in front 3-1. Milford has not been able to muster much of an offensive effort so far in this second half. Now struggling to even get this ball out from inside the box. Attleboro was able to sweep the season series against Milford last season, earning 4-1 victories, both at Attleboro's Tozier Cassidy Field and here on the Milford turf. And all the matchups head-to-head against Attleboro have really heavily favored the Bombardiers. In all, Attleboro was 7-1 head-to-head against Milford going back to the 2000 season. The last victory for Milford came in 2020. It was a 5-4 victory here on the Milford turf. Attleboro has absolutely dominated the first 23 minutes of this second half. As we get a whistle here. The clock paused right now with 16 minutes and 51 seconds to go. One of the officials over on the sidelines talking to Coach Colabello. And so Kaylee Turtelot pulled to the sideline. Not quite sure if that was injury related Regardless, 16.5 minutes remain. Milford in need of a spark and in need of it soon. Push back on their defensive side once again. Serbo has to serve it out of play. Stolen away by Juliana Senna. Calden trying to make a play upfield. This ball goes out of play. And a quick toss in by Calden. Milford can't get anything organized. And now a misplay from Kernan. Murdoch way out of the net, and she is able to make the play with her feet and get that ball cleared out. A fearless play for Chloe Murdoch. She could see that her defense was in big trouble. And the ball goes the other way, and O'Driscoll out to the near side of her net makes the stop.
Great job, Chloe.
Kennedy Samuel with that opportunity a moment ago that was stolen away by the good footwork of Chloe Murdoch. Milford able to clear this ball out of the box, but right in the direction of the two-goal scorer, Tatum Leahy. Will blast a shot up over the net and out of play. Kay Pellegrini will return to the field here from Milford. Landry to the sidelines as we come down to 14 minutes to play in the second half. A second half that has been all Bombardiers to this point. Joni able to keep this ball in. O'Brien now able to get to it. Dance around to defender. And will send a shot in that was well wide to the far side. Attleboro has not let off on the pressure in the second half. A little bit of sunshine starts to poke through the cloud cover that's been lingering overhead. All deflected back in by Leahy. Now Joni will pop it straight up in the air. Opportunity to clear for Milford, but O'Brien keeps it going. Now a centering pass in the direction of Leahy, and a one-handed save is made by Chloe Murdoch. Leahy with eyes on the hat trick, but denied that time by Chloe. Nice ball movement by Attleboro to set up a good look for the senior captain. Able to send this ball up the near sideline, but the defense ends up guiding it back to O'Driscoll, who has to spray it out of play with Paige Calden screaming down into the box. The ball that was cleared all the way up into the bleachers. Dumped back in on the header by Juliana Senna. And now driven in out of the reach of Nashawati, and even with her speed, she will not get to this ball as it crosses the goal line. Quickly approaching 10 minutes to play in the second half. Milford running out of time. Trying to stay with this ball. Able to flip it back upfield. She went down to the turf. Now just out of the reach of Chloe Pierce. A couple of bids by Milford at the midfield. But again taken over by Attleboro. Clogged up by the Attleboro midfield. Now Nashawati trying for a little self-pass. Creates a little bit of space, trying to center this ball up. And so with just a sliver of space, Nashawati trying to make something happen, and Milford will get just their second corner kick chance of the game. Attleboro's had 7 corner kicks in total on the day. This is just the second for Milford. Maya Santos from the near corner. Puts it in a good spot, a little bit too elevated as Turtelot was looking to rise up for the header. And the ball goes out of play. Looked like it was knocked out off of a Milford player. Driscoll will have the goal kick, so really the first chance for Milford to make something happen on offense all half, and unfortunately that ball just a little too high for Turtelot to try to redirect in. Still a 2-goal Attleboro lead as they take some time off the clock here. On the defensive side, this ball goes the width of the field and out. Milford will have a chance to toss it back in. In and out of play along the far sideline. If we get a break in the action before things wrap up here, we'll take a quick peek at what's to come as we quickly get to the later stages of September. We'll show you the remainder of our September sports broadcast schedule. We're back on Thursday. We'll start to give you a look at what's to come as the calendar turns to October. Tatum O'Brien over the middle, starting a breakout. A good ball, stays on sides for Madison Dennehy. And the defense able to collapse in for Milford to prevent the look on net. Now Pierce pushes this ball forward. It'll be tossed in by Kyla Nashawati, sends it down into the corner looking for Calden to go get it. Calden able to get around a defender, takes it into the box, loses her footing, and the stop is made by O'Driscoll. Calden couldn't put as much on that shot as she would have liked as she was headed down to the turf, was able to get it on line towards the net, but O'Driscoll able to make the stop. Now the whistle goes against Milford, a free kick, and Murdoch pops out of the box to clear this ball out. A couple of headers for Attleboro. They can't quite settle. And Pierce, an opportunity to turn it back upfield for Milford, but the ball deflects out along the near sideline. Down to 6.5 minutes to play. Pierce gets a hard hit. Does draw the whistle. Meanwhile, Kernan had some trouble with that ball, eventually able to get it across the center line, but Attleboro takes over from there, and now Milford with a hard blast. This stays on sides. Here's Calden, a little side shot in towards net. Tried to flick it with the side of the foot, but it's stopped by O'Driscoll. Paige Calden just barely staying on sides there, and with her momentum carrying her towards the goal line, tried to just flick the ball in towards net. Kiara O'Driscoll able to make the stop, and it stays a 3-1 Attleboro lead as we quickly approach 5 minutes to play. The lone blemish on the day for the sophomore keeper on the Attleboro side was the successful penalty shot from Kyla Nashawati. Other than that, she has been able to stand up to any of the offensive chances Milford has put together. The Hawks have really not been able to get a sustained attack going at any point in this game. And their best offense came late in the first half, including a corner kick chance right as time expired in the first half that they just could not connect on. So the game clock frozen for the duration of this one as we dip under 5 minutes to play. Attleboro right now looking like they have this one in hand, unless Milford can rally. We did see a lot of late scoring in the game against Stoughton. Can Milford put something together here? And a good stop is made by O'Driscoll. Able to put some pressure on. They had Nashawati crashing in towards net, but O'Driscoll was able to hold on, did not allow a rebound chance. Milford and Stoughton were able to combine for 5 goals in the final 15 minutes of the second half here on the Milford turf last Friday. So we have seen Milford put up multiple goals in the closing minutes so far this season, but coming down to the wire here. Ball deflected forward. Nashawati able to stay with it. Trying to gain this ball back in the corner. Give her a little bit of space. Right along the goal line. Keeps it in play. Now looking for Olivia Baglione. Nashawati now all the way into the corner. And muscled away by Sovias Roveri. Now Baglione trying to push this ball towards the center. And it's knocked out of play by Attleboro's Sophia Lyons. Attleboro able to clear it as far as center. Milford trying to put it right back in. Now on to Kaylee Turtelot into the box. Keeps it low, puts it on goal, but the stop is made by O'Driscoll. Closing sequence here in the second half. Milford finally able to get a little something going on offense, but is it too little too late as this ball comes in from distance and sprays across the goal mouth and goes out of play. Substitutions coming in with a corner kick upcoming here for Milford. Again, it's Maya Santos. right at the far post. Milford is able to stay with it. Trying to jam it in was Olivia Baglione. But too many bodies in front of the net. Attleboro able to get the clear. And Milford punches it back in, but it's going to go out of play to the far sideline. And so that is that. The final whistle sounds. Milford able to put on a good effort in those closing minutes, but ultimately could not sneak one past Kiara O'Driscoll, who played well throughout this game for the Bombardiers. And ultimately, Milford is going to fall in this one by a final score of 3-1. Just did not have that scoring punch that they needed to stay competitive in this one. And so again, the final score here today, Attleboro 3 and Milford 1. So with the victory, Attleboro will improve to 3-1 overall on the season. Milford with the defeat will fall back to the 500 mark at 2-2. A quick peek at what's to come on the schedule for Milford. They will be on the road for their next couple of games. They'll be at Canton on September 19th and then at King Philip on the 23rd. Their next game here at home will be on September 26th. I do believe we will have live coverage of that game on the 26th for you. But again, stay tuned to coverage on Milford TV throughout the rest of this week as we bring you coverage of the boys soccer team against Canton on Thursday, and then we'll have football against Wellesley coming up on Friday. In the meantime, that's going to wrap things up for today. A big thank you to Patrick Garapi manning the cameras today, and I am Tim Coette, as once again we bring you this coverage live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. So long, everybody.